Hi everybody, it's Lyle and Becky. Day-to-day true stories going on the straight and narrow. Becky's videoing today, so alright. So now what I had to do is here's the motor out, right? So I had to take out the yellow wire, goes to the yellow, this one goes to that one that's all beat up. Wait till you see the shape of that one. And this one goes to there. Okay? And then this here, there's a little, right here, it's underneath all this. Anyways, it's here somewhere.
You're bumping the video.
Well, I know, but it's here somewhere, okay? There. Where did I put it? Oh boy. That's good, eh? Oh, that's the piece that goes to... No, that's not the piece that goes to there. There it is, hiding over here with all its friends. It doesn't want to come out this way. There. So this, I don't want to put it back on there, but that one... Okay, you videoing?
Yeah.
Okay, so that goes right in there, right? And that's tight as a... No, we won't say that word. Oh no, that's not the one. Alright. There it is, right there. Okay, there's that wire. Because I broke that little tab just for... specifically so I can know. But this goes onto there. We won't put that back on there just yet. But it slides on there, right? And after I'll put some electrical tape and really tape that up there good, but that goes onto there like that. Okay, so now, and then when you're dropping the motor, right, you got the motor picture?
No.
Do you see the motor? Back up if you can't.
Yeah, now I got it.
Okay, so there's four bolts, right, and then there's a set bolt, and that's on this side of the motor mount. So this set bolt, I got to make sure that set bolt's like that when I'm putting this back on there. And then on this side, I got to screw in those 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. Okay, so that's what the motor looks like on an Ewheels 66. Okay, and this is the plugs, right? And it's the sprocketing here, right there. Okay, now Becky's gonna do something, and I don't know if she's gonna get her hands dirty, but she's gonna have to. I want her to hold the motor.
I'm not holding it.
Yeah, you gotta hold the motor. Just hold it firmly. Okay. Okay, so you see what I mean? The motor, right? The sprockets right there. They've got to line up, right? That's the set bolt. Right, that sets it. I got to make sure that's lined up down there. And then on this side, these are where I screw it in, the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4. And I screw those in. Okay? These, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's the set bolt to set it. And the sprocket. Got to make sure that's lined up. Okay. So. And there's no, the thing is with it, okay, you got to hold this again this way. The thing with these Ewheels 66, there is no serial numbers on them. Even if I pop the housing off of there and everything. I've looked all over this, there's no serial numbers. And it's a brushless motor. Hey, Becky, you want to, okay, and I just, so like, and those,
hurry up, Mom, I want to
okay.
go in.
So, like, you see what they did, eh? Okay, so thank you, Becky. All right, give them your single. All right, Becky.
Bye. You're done with me now?
Huh? You give them your single. Okay, everybody. So, for those that are out there looking for one for me, good luck, because they're impossible to find. And these Okay, so I have to go and see my guy and get him to go to Flush Electric and that. But Vicky did the video there, and I had to show and explain. So I don't know how she doing that, but we'll find out when I post this after this. But see, that's the circuitry board, and all they do is put a rubber boot around it, and that's supposed to be protected from all weather. But we'll solve that problem after, okay? One thing after another here with this. And I'm gonna have to get some extra heat shrinks from him and do this wire here, right? Because that one's got to get redone. This one's got a bit of, and because they're so close together and that, like that, right? They're bumping bumping against each other. So there's space right here and in behind, right? I'll show you. Where's the flashlight? Okay. There's ways of rectifying this, what it's screwed up on doing here, right? But it's a matter of having the knowledge and know how to do it. So right in behind there, right, there's above the brains here, there's a little space here, up here, right? We can shove the circuitry board right over on this side. Over on this side, because there's room on that side, right? And all I do is shuffle that over, right? And put that there, and then I put okay? But that's a project in itself there, to do that. But that's the circuitry board. That shouldn't even have water in that. And these are the testing lines here. Apparently my buddy was telling me that he used to do his own stuff in his place, but now he's got an apartment, and he's a biker. So yeah, so I had to duct tape that because that's for the computer readers, eh? I can't get those. Only technicians can get those computer readers. But I had to electrical tape all that, you know. So, all right. Well, so you see what I have to deal with, eh? And it was loose here. That's why it was shortened out, eh? It was loose here under the circuitry board, and it was going, and it was making the alarm go off. So now we figured out the problem. Now we rectified it, and we get the motor. Okay. So, and okay. I did video of this. Whoops. Because there's no videos on how exactly to do this. But when you're doing this, right, and you're taking your motor out from an Ewheels 66, right, make sure you take your positive and your negative off of there. And make sure it's turned off on the switch here before you touch that. Okay, because that'll, okay? Otherwise you'll get a nice rude awakening. That's a lot of volts, right? 60 volts. You see 4 batteries, but there's 1 battery up in the front there. That's 5 batteries, 12 volt batteries. Okay? There's something not to mess around with. Okay, so, but there's hardly any videos on how to drop a motor out there. And when I found one, it's like, whoa. He only shows how to take it out. Doesn't explain the circuitry, how it is, eh? Okay, so we'll go over to BB's box and I'll show you you make sure you put your screws and that in a bag and numb, and and that. So we got, okay, so here's the circuitry board. That's for the circuitry board, right? And it's only 2 screws with it to put it back on there. So don't lose those screws, eh? Here's the screws for the motor. There's 5 of them. Okay, like I was saying, there's the 4 there, and then you gotta make sure you put the set bolt in first. And that's on this side, on the top side. I'll go into, when we put the motor back in, I'll show you how to do that, okay? But, okay, so there's a set bolt, and then you make sure that set bolt's in there, because if that sprocket's not lined up, you'll screw those gears up. Okay, so, and then there's 4 to screw the motor back in. Okay. And then this is for the battery screws, okay? So that's your positive and negative, okay? So, all right, but make sure you don't lose these, because you are gonna, if you can't find these friggin' bolts, all right, you will be screwed. If you end up losing some of these bolts, right? If you end up losing some of these bolts because they're stainless steel, right? And they've got a special head on them, right? An Allen key head on them, and they're set in. So make sure you're smart and put them in a plastic bags, okay? So I don't know what else I can say, but that's about all. Okay, people. I had to borrow Becky's flashlight, but so now BB's going Monday. Tomorrow's Monday. Today is Sunday. So yeah. So we are okay. So let's go over and have relaxing. I'll do a video over where I'm at in the chair, okay, and go and sit where the trees are. But all right, everybody, Becky signal, Lyle signal, we love you all. Thanks.